Hello, beauty treasure hunters. My name's Michelle. Welcome to my channel. If you like to find really good makeup at really good prices, I call them beauty treasures, then please follow along. And today we're going to do an entire face of a brand named W7. And I have found W7 at places like Marshalls and Ross and TJ Maxx, but also on Amazon and Five Below. So it's very affordable and very good as well. So here we go. Okay, my skin prep is already done. I've cleansed with salicylic acid cleanser. That's supposed to help shrink your pores. And done a little bit of hyaluronic acid already. I have not done my sunscreen yet. And I'm going to put on some Biore Watery Essence. It feels just like skincare. I will let that be sinking in. And I'm going to use some HD concealer from W7 to prime my eyelids. And a little bit goes a long way. And I got too much. Okay, I don't have any brow products from W7, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I did my brow color off camera with some Clairol Root Touch-Up and an angled thin liner brush. And I lied, I do have a brow product from W7, the Brow Grip, so I'm going to use that to tame these babies. If I don't do this step, I have them sticking up everywhere. So I'm going to set my concealer, and the powder that I have from W7 is this pink powder, pink blur. So we'll see how that works. And take just a fluffy brush to do that. All right, now we're ready for some eyeshadow. And I have several palettes by W7. Their eyeshadows are really good. I think I'm going to go with this one, Romanced. But I also have Nudification. This one looks like a dupe for the Too Faced. I can't remember the name of that palette. Then I have Sweet Cocoa and the Eye of London. That is the Ferris wheel there. And I have a glitter and shimmer palette that I'm going to use just as an eyeshadow topper. I'm going to start with a crease color. I'm going to go with Lust. It's a nice chocolate brown. I'm going to deepen it up with Romeo, which is a little bit darker. Now I'm not going with Romeo. This one is called Affair. We'll pretend that it's the kind of affair where nobody's being cheated on. I always get a kick out of reading shadow names and shade names. Somebody has a lot of fun doing those jobs. I'm gonna add a little bit pop of color to the outer corner, and I think I'm gonna go with Crush, which is this one right here. has a little bit of copper in it. Just gonna dab that on the outer corner. And then I'm gonna use my pencil brush to use that also as kind of an liner on the bottom. Try to really kind of make a straight line here. Try to get out a little bit. I'll fix that in a minute. I'm going to take a clean brush, fluffier one, to do some blending at the top. Now I like to take a Q-tip. This one doesn't have a pointy end. And actually, I have come to realize that I don't prefer the pointy-ended ones. These do just fine. And I use Vaseline. I also go under to get that area ready for concealer. Give it some Vaseline too. I think Marilyn Monroe used a lot of Vaseline. Come straight up, kind of keeping that line. Then I like to see if I have the right amount of lift on each side. I think this side was droopier. All right, let's see what's next. Let's do some sparkle now. With this palette. And I think I'm gonna go with this one right down here. Here's what it looks like. And I'm just gonna dab that right in the center. I like that. I think I'm gonna go over a little bit farther toward the inner corner. And then I like for my sparkle to be seen, and if you have hooded lids, you just kind of have to go up a little higher. Otherwise, nobody would see your sparkle. If you've watched my videos before, you've heard my explanation about my fingernails. Sometimes you'll see me with pretty press-ons, but I play the violin and they get in my way. So a lot of times you'll see my ugly nails that I have been biting since I had teeth, I think. Okay, the mascara that I have is the Plush. And I'm going to put that on my bottom lashes only. It has a curved silicone brush. Okay, I think the only product besides the brow color that I do not have something from W7 is my liner. I like to do upper eyeliner. And so this is by Hard Candy, and it is just the gel eyeliner in black. My upper lashes are Kiss Falscara, and I use the sticky 5-day glue so I can get several days wear out of these sectionals. And I do that because my eyelashes are blonde. And when you already have your lashes done, it sure makes getting ready a lot faster. I have different degrees of hoodedness on my eyes. So you can see, I see some lid right here that I'm going to have to line to make them look symmetrical. There. I have to really, the way I usually hold my eyes, this side goes up farther than the other, so I really have to try to relax to get my eyes to be symmetrical. Okay, now I'm going to use the same technique I usually do to help hide these eye bags. And W7 has an under eye brightener, but it's a little bit darker. So I am going to go over the puffy parts with this darker color. If you have an under eye concealer that's a little bit too dark, that would be perfect to use for this. You don't want to put it everywhere, just on the parts that are puffy. And now, with the concealer, I'm going to go around the parts that are lower. And I think I'm going to use a brush. Just a tiny eyeliner brush. And I'm going to go right in my tear trough here. Okay, now I'm going to take my favorite concealer brush. Just kind of stipple across. And then I do go down a little bit to mix the colors just a little bit. I think this side looks more crisp than the other, so I'm gonna sharpen up this side too. And I'm not gonna set that just yet. I'm gonna give it a second to kind of settle and dry down a little bit. And I'm going to go in with some Porefection Primer by W7. And I'm just going to put that on my T-zone. Here's what that looks like. It's kind of thick, but spreads nicely. My skin is saying, you're ripping too hard on me today. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with their Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury dupe. And it only comes in one shade. And it's a little dark, but it's summertime, so you use it kind of like a bronzer. And I did not put that on my T-zone because I like to keep that part matte instead of glowy. And now, to prevent anything from sliding into my lip lines, I like to use, and this is not by W7, this is by LA Colors. It's a highlighter stick, but it's matte. I like to blend that in. And it's okay to get it on your lip. And I'm also going to set it with some of that pink powder. And the lip liner I'm going to use today is not by W7. It is by Wet n Wild. It's It's one of these long ones. And it's called Plumberry. And I got this super duper cheap. And I love the color. And I really work hard on trying to create symmetry because I'm not symmetrical. I have to build this side up. And I do not go all the way into the crease there. Okay, now we're gonna let that kind of hang out. And I have a choice of foundations to use today. This one is the HD, and I think the color is Sand. And this one, Legend, and the color is Fresh Beige. This one is a dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And I don't know if you can get this one anymore, but you can get this one at CVS. So I'll kind of use a little bit of both to show you. This is like my perfect color. It's kind of pinky beige. And part of finding a good foundation is finding that color match. That's what makes you go, oh, that's so pretty in the beginning. And then for me, what I look for is something that's just gonna make my pores just smooth out and go away. And this does. The trick to getting it to hide your pores around your nose is actually pulling your nose a little bit and pressing in. Okay, now I'll use the HD down around this area so you can see that. And this one is a very nice color for me as well. Took me 2 times to get that one right, but it's less than $5. See that color? Okay. Now I'm going to use a cream bronzer to kind of do a little bit of contouring with. It's a little bit light for contour. We're going to try it. And I'm going to use, this is a Dollar Tree brush, but you can see it's shaped like a big kitten paw. If you have volume loss right in here, but you want to hide that vein, you do need to do like you've gotten sun all through here. You can't just contour and do right there. Then you start looking skeletal. But if you'll do dark all around in here, you can get away with it and hide that vein. I'm going to try to hide the jowls. And I have a wrinkle right here, so I like to bring it up just a little bit. If I try to go just under, then you can see that dip. But I follow that wrinkle right there. And I do darken underneath. But I stay away from this area. Bring it down just a little bit. The first of these blushes that I ordered, Candy Blush, came and it didn't make it. And the second one only had a little chunk out of it, so this color is called Scandal. take a fluffy blush brush. Usually I like to do a cream and then a powder, but I don't have a cream blush by W7, I don't think. Hang on, yes I do. Okay, I just remembered that I do have contour and blush, so I'm gonna go in, let's see, we'll just do things in reverse order here, but that's okay. You can do creams on top of powders. I'm going to put blush on the other side also, still powder. Now this is in the shade Lustful, it's called Cheeky Dip. And I think what I'll do is dab it onto the back of my hand. Some kind of pretty color. And this is another one of those brushes that I like by this company. Gonna dab in. Just go over it a little bit. Does make it brighter, I think. And I'm also going to go in and add that contour color. This one just says Shadow. Here's what it looks like. There we go. Now I'm ready to go in with my powder bronzer. And I love this. Look at this. Look how big the pan is. It's like almost as big as my hand. I'm gonna take my Flower Beauty big fluffy brush that I use for my bronzer and dip it right in. I love it when your brush fits into your bronzer. It's wonderful. Okay, now I'm gonna use this pink blur powder and a triangle puff and set just my T-zone. I like to just dab and pull, kind of scrape off. And I do it anywhere I see texture. The older I get, the more I see right in here. Guess it's just gravity. Now I don't have any W7 setting spray, but I do have some hypochlorous acid spray that I found at Five Below, which is also where I get some W7 things. It's called Daily Facial Spray. It was only $1. And even though I can make my own, I just wanted to see the ingredients in here. So there are some other ingredients besides hypochlorous acid. Water, glycerin, phenylethanol, sure, a preservative, castor oil, and then hypochlorous acid, fragrance. So it's not fully hypochlorous acid, but I'm going to use it to just melt all this together. And it does smell nice. And that won't help with longevity, just melting everything together. But what I am stuck on for my setting spray is Pantene number 3. And I think I'm going to take my earrings off and tuck my necklace in. Spray my necklace good because I don't want that to come off on my clothes. Okay, now we've lined the lips. We need some color, and I love the dupes for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk line by W7. Aren't they pretty? And I think the one that is closest to that color maybe is Naked Desire. And these are nice and creamy. And I usually like to do 2 colors. I usually like a lighter one in the middle. So this one is called First Date. Not sure if it's lighter, but I like it. And then they have a dupe for the NYX Duck Glosses, and this is called Thick Drip. Okay. And I don't feel complete until I have put on highlighter. So this is called Afterglow, and it's a little palette that has several colors of highlighter. I like to use a flat brush for that. I'm just going to dip into all of them and dab it off. So this is my final look for the day. It's kind of a messy day. It's also kind of chilly in Kentucky. So I'm wearing my jacket, got little puffed sleeves. I love the way this is cut. Let's see, I'm gonna have to zoom out for you to see that. It's kind of got a high slit there. So thank you for watching. I'm trying to grow a channel, so if you happen upon this, you're one of the first ones to find me, and I would really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe and share with other like-minded friends. Wherever you are today, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.